Deep state is emerging from the shadows. Deep state is ready to take the stage. So I saw in one of the wings that there was a second man standing in the shadows. And even though he was in the shadows, he was also directly behind the man at the podium. So it's like he was standing in the shadows, he was waiting in the wings, but at the same time, he was represented as standing directly behind the president as he was making his address. In fact, he was standing so close in the shadow of the president that his shoes, the tips of his shoes, were grazing the backs of the president's shoes. So he was standing so close that here's a shoe, and this man's feet were kind of rubbing against them as he was standing and wiggling his toes, and he was highly anticipatory, and he was very eager. He had such a winning and a confident smile. He was so relaxed and assured. Basically, it's when you win an award. You know when you win an award and you're waiting for them to say, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, and then you walk out into the spotlight and it's your moment. That's how this person was. And the Lord was showing that this person who was waiting in the wings was absolutely sure that he was going to be the next leader. He was practically glued to Mr. Trump standing in front of him. And then I suddenly saw a gunshot wound appear in the president's chest. So it was just like he was talking, and then I just saw this blood began to spread like a special effect over his chest and soak into his shirt. And the press was like, oh. So everyone in the press was like, oh my, and they were taking these pictures. And yet the president kept speaking. He just kept going on with his speech. He just kept speaking. And the Lord basically said to me, see this man, he has no awareness of his own life. He has no awareness of the threat to his life. And he has no idea that people in the deep state agenda are planning to kill him so that this other man who is deeply implanted in the deep state agenda can move into the foreground and take charge. And then the Lord showed me the identity of the man in the background. And this man was the former president of the United States, Mr. Barack Obama. And the man who was standing at the podium making the speech, who received the gunshot wound in his chest, is Donald Trump.